Good morning.
Good morning.
I enjoyed last night. Especially coming up here and being alone with you.
Okay.
See, I think things are a little more relaxed between us, don't you?
A little.
Leslie, maybe you should...
Why?
Nothing.
What? I should what?
No, that was just a thought, that's all.
No, tell me.
Well, I hope you'll understand. Leslie, you have a tendency to look at everything from a childlike vision of perfection, a fairy tale version of what a relationship should be. You've done it for a long time. You did it with Laura. You kept thinking she was a perfect daughter, and every sign pointed to just the opposite.
Yeah, I suppose that's probably true. But what does that have to do with us?
Leslie, our relationship has problems, too. We have to look at them realistically. We can't go back and think about what they were or compare them to some storybook or movie version of what a marriage should be. Now, we're making the steps that we have to. Now, they may not be going as fast as we'd like them to, but the important thing is that we're making them. That's my speech for the morning. Honey, please think about it.
Yeah, I will. First, I'll get breakfast, and I'll think about it. Yeah, I do want us to be the way we were.
Laura. Hi.
Hi. I've just made breakfast and your tea is ready anytime you are.
Thank you, honey.
Rick, could you wait just a minute?
Yeah.
There's something that I wanted to say to you. I've been thinking about what you said upstairs, and I think you may be right. I think I may have had a tendency to look at things from a storybook point of view, but I also remember a time in its early days when our marriage did seem to fit that description perfectly.
Honey, I didn't say this to upset you.
No, I'm not. You didn't upset me. You gave me a lot to think about.
Leslie, the very fact that Laura was involved with David all that time and we never knew it, and that you lied all those months to protect her, that just proves that our marriage was anything but perfect. Hey, it doesn't say anything about my love for him. But, honey, we have a responsibility to each other, to Laura, and to the court who released her into our custody. Do you understand?
Yes, Rick, of course I understand.
Honey, it's an awesome responsibility, but at the same time, we have a chance to rebuild our marriage into something far better than it ever was.
I'm really that sure that we can. I'm so afraid sometimes that everything that's happened has just chipped away at the foundation of it.
Not if we don't let them, Leslie. We can't afford that. Look, if we fail, Judge Stallman can come in here and take Laura away from us and send her to a reform school, and he can do that anytime he wants in these next 5 months.
Believe me, I'm as aware of that as you are.
Well, if we fail each other, then we fail Laura. And that's not going to happen, is it?
And I can do that for you. Hello there.
Hi, Leslie. I'm sorry I kept you waiting so long.
Oh, listen, that's all right. I'm just so terrifically delighted you have so many patients out there.
I know, so am I. Sit down, be comfortable. Tell me how your back is today.
Oh, listen, those relaxers were just great, and the heat treatments were fine, too.
I'm glad to hear that.
How are things with you?
All right.
Honey, this is Colleen you're talking to. Why do you say things are all right when I know they're not all right?
How can you know that?
Just from the tone of your voice.
And I thought I had mastered the art of dissembling.
You know, Leslie, sometimes it is so exciting being with you. You use such big words.
Yes, thank you, Colleen. Okay, anyway, nothing has much changed in my life. What about you? Have you had any luck getting a job?
Well, not yet, but I got a lot of hope. I mean, the stores are going to be taking on extra help for Christmas time, and I'm sure I'll be able to fit in somewhere.
I hope you do.
Not real easy, though. I mean, a lot of people are, you know, they don't want to give a job to somebody who's been in jail as many times as I have.
I thought you told me you were always cleared.
Well, I was, but just being in jail scares a lot of people off.
Well, I'm going to ask around and see if there isn't something that you could do, and then I'll let you know.
Oh, gee, I appreciate that, honey.
Okay, now tell me how the prescription is doing.
Oh, fine. I'm sure it'll last me through the week.
Okay, when it's finished, then we'll talk about maybe renewing it, but I have a feeling that that might be all you'll need.
Listen, my back's going to be well in no time at all, thanks to you.
Well, I guess that's all we have to do then. And you take care of yourself.
And you take care of yourself, and, honey, chin up. Things are going to be fine. I mean, they just have to.
Thank you.
I'm sorry.
Oh, that's all right. No, don't be sorry. Oh, Colleen, may I present my husband, Rick Weber. Rick, this is Colleen Middleton.
How are you?
How do you do, Dr. Weber? Why, it's a real pleasure meeting you. I recognize you from your pictures in the paper. Gee, I think it's just great that you get to be head of the new wing at the hospital here.
Well, thank you very much.
So long, Leslie. I'll see you.
You keep in touch, you hear me?
I will.
Okay.
Bye, Doctor.
Bye. Who was that?
That was Colleen Middleton, the lady who shared the cell with me in jail, who was a very loving and good friend who got me through some very rough times, and I will always be indebted to her.
I'm sorry I didn't know that when I met her. She seemed very nice.
She is. So what can I do for you?
I just ran into Lee, and I asked him to stop by and Gail to come by tonight for a drink. Is that okay?
Yes, of course.
Well, I think it's about time we had a few more people over and got a little more happiness inside our house.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Okay. Look, when Monica and Alan get back, I would like to accept their dinner invitation as well.
Of course, if it's that important to you.
Leslie, it is. The holidays are here. I would like to see our house filled with warmth and hospitality, the way it used to be.
Excuse me for pointing this out, but aren't you doing exactly what you accused me of doing this morning? Aren't you looking back at your growing up, your childhood in that house with your parents from a kind of storybook point of view?
I don't think so, Leslie. That was a very happy, a very wonderful time for me, for Terry, for Jeff. And I would like to see Laura have that same security and love and warmth. Leslie, honey, we can have the very same kind of relationship that my folks did if we don't let ourselves get too discouraged by the problems we're facing now.
Rick, please believe that I'm trying. I really do want that as much as you do.
Every time I see you wearing this pin, I think about my mother. And how proud I am to see my wife wearing it.
When I saw Jeff,
Laura and Scotty could be here to see him.
well, she asked me if she couldn't please go have an early dinner with Scotty at his place, so I told her it was all right.
I'm sure they will enjoy themselves just being together for a change.
Rick.
Yeah.
You know, I think Laura is very conscious of the tensions between us right now.
Why do you say that?
Oh, little comments she makes about things.
What things?
Things that she notices or overhears. Like you suggesting that you sleep in the guest room.
I get it.
Hi.
Hi.
Hold up there. Getting this
I hope we're not too early. Oh, not at all.
Hello, Lesley.
So glad, hello, Lee, that you were able to come by.
Oh, well, it is so lovely to be here.
It's been a long time, hasn't it?
Too long.
Come on in and sit down. Be comfortable. Get
Thank you.
yourself something to eat, and I'll get you something to drink. Gail, white wine, right?
Perfect.
Just anything soft for me.
Yes, I know.
Honey, I'll do that.
Oh, okay. nothing for me. Thank you.
Say, Lesley, I was talking to Steve today about getting an impromptu meeting set up with the board to talk about your contract. I think it's a good idea to do that now.
Oh, dear. I don't know, Lee. I don't know that I'm ready to go wage that battle right now.
Leslie, I think you should. And I think you ought to lay it on the line, too. There are a lot of hospitals that would jump at the chance to have a doctor with your experience in a contract.
I think Rick's right, Lesley.
Well, you see, truthfully, I don't feel that I have any right to make demands on the board. I understand their point of view. I don't blame them for what happened. I brought it on myself.
How are things going at the clinic now?
Well, better. Thank you. More patients coming to see me, which is encouraging.
I think you should make that point to the board.
Lee, forgive me. I'm not saying, I don't mean to sound rude. I would rather not talk about this right now. I made a decision today that I was going to... Thank you. I still feel a little funny about being out of the house, knowing that Scotty and Laura are driving all the way up to the lake.
Well, why? You know how responsible Scotty is. Why, Laura couldn't be in better hands.
Yeah, I know that. It's just that there are so many things that could happen that he couldn't control. He could have some kind of trouble.
Oh, now nothing is going to happen tonight. Nothing that he can't handle. And besides, they both know where you and Rick are going to be tonight, just in case.
Yes, I know. It's just knowing that they're driving so far away with that early curfew.
Look, Scotty has borrowed Lee's car. And he's asked for permission to leave the hospital early so he can go home and change his clothes before he picks up Laura. He is well aware of her curfew.
Yeah.
And that's why he wants to get to the lodge early, so that they won't have to be rushed.
I know I probably shouldn't worry, but I do every night until I know she's in the house, safe and on time.
Well, you are not going to worry tonight because we're not going to let you.
Okay.
All your good friends are going to be at Monica's, and we've just missed you so much, we're not going to let anything put a damper on the evening.
Thank you, friend. I appreciate that.
From the morning before.
There's Lesley and Gail. Why don't you join them and I'll take care of the coffee.
Oh, thank you.
Sure.
Hi, ladies.
Hello, Monica. Looks like the surgery went well.
Yes, I am happy to report. Rick did a brilliant job. And the patient's now in recovery.
Would you like to join us?
Sure. Rick is going to get me some coffee, so I'll get another chair.
Would you please just tell me your secret?
What secret?
You were having 8 people for dinner tonight. Here you are, having coffee, relaxed. How do you do that?
Room service. One of the joys of living in a hotel. All I did was pick up the phone this morning, call the chef, give him my order, and hopefully everything will be all ready when you arrive. Hopefully.
That must be terrific.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it is. And Lesley, I am so glad you didn't object to Mitch Williams coming. I really think Tracy would be impossible if he couldn't.
She just might be anyway.
Yeah, well, at least she'll start the evening being civil. And if Mr. Williams has the good taste not to mention the trial or you and Laura, a good time should be had by all.
Well, as I told you when you first asked, he's not one of my favorite people in the whole world. But the way I feel about all of that experience is that the very best thing we could possibly do would be to put it all in the past and let it stay there.
That's exactly where it belongs, in the past, only to be awakened at times of weddings and funerals. Right, ladies? A little treatment here, is the way you like it?
Thank you.
You're quite welcome.
Well, you're in good spirits, I see. Monica told us how well the surgery went. Congratulations.
Thank you, but that is only half of it. I am anticipating a very relaxed evening with my wife and dear friends. Our daughter is going out this evening with a very fine young man. And I think that sounds like the perfect picture, doesn't it?
Not only perfect, but well-deserved.
Yes.
I'll drink to that one. Cheers.
To good friends.
Hey, on that note, this good friend has to get herself back down to the clinic.
Oh, so soon, Lesley.
Yeah, I left Dr. Gonzalez all alone, and I'm sure he'd like a break, too.
Look, I'll be ready to leave in about an hour. How about you?
I should be ready by then, yes.
Good. Why don't I meet you in the lobby, then we'll stop by the book room, pick up Laura, and we can drive back to the house together.
Fine, I'll talk to her as soon as she comes out of her appointment with Peter.
Honey, would you tell her? I know she's very anxious to get up to the lake just as soon as she can, but I'd like us just to spend a few minutes together as a family before Scotty picks her up.
Sure, I'll tell her.
Okay.
I'll see you guys later.
Looking forward to tonight, Lesley.
Bye, Lesley.